Shut up. It's time for below grade level. How could you do this to me? We're in a fight now.
Hello and welcome to Below Grade Level, the show where we take the books that we read as kids and read them as adults and ruin them. I'm one of your hosts, Jonathan Eaton. With me as always is Bekah Eaton.
Hello.
And Chris Zaleski.
Hello.
And joining us, as was foretold in the ancient texts, to finish reading the Babysitters Club, Boy Crazy Stacy, is our eminent closer, John Walker. Hello, John.
Hello, Jonathan.
Hi.
Chris, Bekah,
Hello.
and the world.
All you babysitters out there.
Is that who listens?
Babysitters.
To these episodes, I think
Strictly
so, actually. I said it on an earlier episode, but Babysitters Club episodes are the episodes we have gotten, I think, the most comments on.
That's so funny because they're so boring.
They're so boring. We should get nothing but comments on Christopher Pike books.
Yeah.
But we get comments on Babysitters Club books, and it's like, oh, I love this.
I have never found a person in the wild who has mentioned a Christopher Pike book, because why would you?
Yeah.
But if I did, I feel like we would sit down and talk for 3 straight hours about it.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. I feel like talked at people for hours about Christopher Pike, because it'll get brought up and I'm like, let me tell you about this one. Let me tell you about this one. Let me tell you about this. Like, you have to know
I
it's
do
real.
not do that to
I know
people.
you don't.
Bekah, if you meet someone and you're hoping to like foster a real friendship with them, maybe you can designate them as like, Jonathan, please don't talk to them about Christopher Pike.
That's
Please
fair.
leave that off the table at least for a year or two.
It's like like
Right.
a sitcom where like someone's like coming over for dinner, and it's like right before they get there, you're like, wait, I forgot to tell you, don't mention Christopher Pike.
And then open the door and then they're there.
And then they're there, and like, what if they walk in and they're just like, boy, this house is amazing. It's almost like you guys are masters of murder. I don't know. They would just keep like dropping like book names.
No greater icebreaker than talking about a book about a robot that wants to bang their grandpa.
That was
Yeah.
the eternal enemy.
I mean, I find that's where most like dinner party conversation goes anyway. So
Yeah.
Every time.
And like,
Yeah.
I had met them once before, but it's been a while, so they walk in, they're like, hey, remember me? Guys, these are good jokes.
you know, when I feel like when I first heard about this show that you guys do, that we do, but I mean when I first heard of it as a show that you guys do, I for some reason I thought you exclusively did Babysitters Club books.
You had said that when we were hanging out before, and I remembered why. It's because we used to do it when we would just read a little at the end of This Is 65.
Yeah.
And I remember you reading one with us and specifically thinking, John is so funny for the really girly books.
Yes.
So then we would plan to have you on for the really girly books, or at least I would.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I was like, it's so funny to hear him talk about these stupid Sweet Valley twins or whatever.
I do remember, well, John, yeah, the
So
first...
you probably never read a Goosebumps
But for
with
me,
us, because
it's
I was
like-
like, Babysitters Club, we have to get John back.
Yeah.
But you don't understand. For me, that's like setting my soul free because I always, I always preferred hanging out with the girls in high school.
Yeah.
So this is like a fantasy for me
It all worked out.
to go behind the scenes. What were those babysitters? What was happening in that club of theirs?
A lot
Yeah.
of note-taking.
Yeah.
There is a lot of, they send postcards back and forth.
Yeah.
This is like summer vacation. Most of them are on jobs right now.
Yeah.
Like, they'll go to a place and try to find babysitting jobs if they don't already have one lined up.
It's insane.
And they write each other postcards back and forth of notes about the kids to put in their, like, master journal for
Yeah.
later. Like, Byron, afraid of ocean.
Yeah, like, oh, let me refer to Byron.
Yeah, the Byron file.
John, the first thing you ever read with us was Babysitters Club. So, like, that could be also why it sticks in your mind, is like, that was
Yeah.
the formative memory.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
it was around the time that I gained object permanence.
Yeah.
I did that.
Yeah,
show
that
with
seems
you guys.
right. Becca, would you like to catch John and the listeners up on what happened last time on Boy Crazy Stacy?
Yes, and just like last time, I forgot to stop before the last part because nothing happened.
I was going to say,
and there's so
luckily,
little to
nothing
talk
happened.
about. So
This is like the opposite of, what was the last shit we read?
I never know.
That chain letter.
Oh, yeah.
Where like every episode you were like, oh, I wrote a novel to describe
Yeah.
those 2 chapters.
Well, this time I highlighted stuff, and I was like really stretching what I felt was appropriate to highlight.
You're hung up on the sun-in.
I really am. I forgot she was blonde, so she's gonna be okay. But
She's gonna be okay.
It's just that they've mentioned it several times. I don't know if it's to make her look vain, but I don't know. what the point
You're
even
done
is.
in by the sun in.
She is done. She is. I want to know. I'm so unfamiliar with this product because I know that
We talked about it.
We talked about it. I'm aware of it.
Yeah.
But I me boy.
Yeah.
Like we didn't use it. You know. What are the dangers? What does have you so concerned?
So, well, I have dark hair. It's basically just peroxide. Okay. So it's basically putting peroxide on your hair and going in the sun. So it's a very shitty, low strength bleach.
Okay.
If you're blonde, you're probably fine. If you're very light blonde, you'll just get lighter blonde. It's fine. If you have dark brown hair, your hair turns like orangey, coppery, yellow if you're lucky.
Yellow if you're lucky?
Yes.
I feel like copper would be like the best case scenario, kind of.
But you're not aiming for copper. You're aiming for blonde, and you spray that shit everywhere like, ooh, it'll be all summery, beachy looking, and instead it looks disgusting.
Does it get like straw? Like, does it?
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay.
It turns your hair into straw and will
Fried.
break off.
What?
Fried.
Fried, yes.
Fried.
Absolutely.
I thought you said ride, and I was like, I don't know. It was like a weird call to action.
Right.
We buy sun in at dawn.
No! Like, and that's what you do when you put sun in your hair. You ride
Yes,
into
girls,
the sunset.
ride. Spritz, spritz, spritz.
I just thought you said dried, which worked.
It does,
But it wasn't.
that does
It
work.
wasn't that interesting to add. Do you know what I mean? It's like fried. Fried is much more. That adds something. But if we're to say dried,
Oh,
it would have
man.
just been like, probably, dried. Yeah, that's
sure,
another way of
dried,
saying
yeah.
it.
Yeah, crispy. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so you basically get crispy orange hair.
Okay,
if
that's
you
bad.
have dark hair.
Yeah,
If you're blonde, then you're fine.
yeah, okay.
So you think if you get to the end of this book, and there's like a moment where someone's like, "Oh my god, my hair's fucking green," that will be the payoff to the sun-in thing or something? Are you, like that someone's gonna have a bad sun-in experience, and that's gonna literally be the climax of this narrative?
No, I did not think that would be the climax.
Okay,
of
no,
the
I was
narrative,
wondering,
but
you know.
I also forgot about. I mean, if she got into a chlorinated pool, it might turn green.
Oh,
And
sounds
that
like a
had not
disaster.
occurred to me.
oh.
Yeah.
I forgot about that part.
So okay.
That's what I was picturing was the green, the people that that spend a lot of time hopping in and out of pools that use sun-in or cheap bleach jobs. Then suddenly you've
there's
got
a part
green
two.
hair.
Yeah.
Some sort of
There's a whole
reason to
secondary
mention
danger.
it at all.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I just thought it would be like, look how vain she is, but if just the fact that they mentioned she packed it at all. But then she was like wearing a slutty bikini, even though she's 13, and so this whole book has been gross and weird.
I could have done without the details of her body.
Yes, we all could have.
I could do.
have.
I could do without the details of my body.
I would like to be just a mist.
I like a blur. Yes. Well, no, honestly, like a foggy mirror coming out of the shower. Sometimes, it's like, oh, there's a vaguely humanoid shape in there. It's not
I
so
see
bad.
glasses.
There's an episode of the X-Files where the guy's whole thing was like he could cloud your mind, so like he just kind of like shimmered and disappeared if you were looking straight at
sounds
him.
awesome.
But like you could only see him if you had him in your peripheral vision, so you had to like look away and like focus on something else, and then you could see him.
Like the
But
shadow.
only from your peripheral.
Like the shadow, Chris.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
That's the same.
I don't
thing.
care. Okay, but yeah.
Yeah.
Like the shadow, like from
Yeah.
Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin.
Like yeah. Look at.
From the twisted mind of Alec Baldwin.
Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? Alec
I know
Baldwin
I
knows.
watched that, and I don't remember fucking anything.
And when
All right.
when he wears a mask, his nose gets bigger.
It does.
It does.
It does.
Well, that's the
But the
funny
rest
thing
of him
about
blurs?
like when the Tim Burton Batman was so big. And it wasn't like the studios were like, oh, we got to do more Batman shit. We got to do more comic book shit. They wouldn't figure that out for 20 years.
Yeah.
But what they did think was, man, these like characters from the 30s, from serialized storytelling, we got to do the Shadow.
That's what the
we
kids
got to do
want.
the Phantom.
Yeah.
And what was the other one? Oh, Dick Tracy, which was a bit bigger, but still very much
But
like
still a
an attempt.
huge flop. Like
I
all
like
three
that
of those
Phantom
movies.
movie.
You know, I don't think I've seen it.
The ending is utter dog shit, but the rest of it's like, I dig it.
Do you remember Billy Zane in a purple costume with a big skull ring?
I mean, of course
I
I
wish
remember
what
I
I
that.
said
did.
is made up.
I wish I did. That sounds great.
Well, that's the
Did he have
Phantom.
hair or not at
Good
that
news. I have great news for you. We should watch The Phantom.
point? Okay.
There's a whole movie about
He
that.
does have hair because it's like early 90s
And
Billy Zane.
7-Eleven had the rings.
I remember
Ooh.
that, yeah.
I had one for every finger.
Jesus Christ.
How many slush puppies does that mean you had to drink?
I don't remember. All I know is I grew up with a 7-Eleven within walking distance.
Yeah.
Ours is pretty close. Anyway, so last time we got a random Christie chapter. I don't know why. Nothing pays off, so I'm going to stop expecting it to.
Because they had to
But
pad the book out.
Christy writes them a letter back. She let, what was it like? It was like a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old. She lets them wash a car
Yes.
unsupervised.
Forgot.
But it's because Dave and Michael, her little businessman brother, took their dog to a dog show, but then I don't even think they made it to the dog show before he like stepped on glass or something and got hurt, and they walked back, so she was helping this dog, helping his paw, but she lets these fucking tiny children wash their dad's like 4th car because her stepdad, whatever his name is, Watson is super rich, so it's just his like beater car that I don't know, maybe it reminds him of high school or something. And I don't, what do they put all over it?
Steel
They fuck
wool.
it up. Oh, they wash it
use-
with steel wool
Yeah.
because they're dumb children.
They're like, look how
So
shiny
that's
it
something
is.
that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, ooh, look, it's silver now. All the paint's gone. We're a week into this 2-week vacation.
Jesus.
I know. Marianne is spending time with the mother boy helper. Scott is being more gross. I think there were details that I didn't care to write down because it was very gross. Stacy and Marianne basically aren't talking to each other, but then they have the night off and go to the boardwalk. And I think they kind of make up during that. They're at least tolerating each other. Stacy buys like a heart-shaped box of candy like it's Valentine's Day for Scott. And then she walks out and sees him making out with an age-appropriate adult person. And then she gets sad. I don't know. I think they throw the candy away. I don't remember what happens. We learn the mother boy helper's name is Alex. Stacy and Byron have a heart-to-heart on the bay side. And now he is good at ocean. Stacy decides to ignore Scott. And that is it.
Okay.
And then at some point I Googled the Sweet Valley book where Jessica gets her period. So I wrote that note down.
Oh my god. Well.
And we all have predictions.
Oh,
we all
yeah,
have
okay.
predictions. I think they're all... I don't think a single one's going to come true.
None of them are going to happen. They're all wild, wild swings.
Nothing. No, not a single one.
No.
Although I did love Angela's prediction, which was nuclear warfare / Red Dawn, but ocean.
Yeah, that's my favorite one too. All right.
No one's going to win this time around.
Well, let's find out what happens as we finish reading Boy Crazy Stacy. Chapter 12, Tuesday.
What?
It says Tuesday. It's supposed to be Tuesday, but it does say Tuesday.
Oh, Stacy's stupid.
Tuesday. Dear Christy, Byron went in the water, sort of. I know what he's afraid of. We'll talk about it at the next meeting of the Babysitters Club. I heard a really funny joke today. I'll tell that at the next meeting too. Love, Stacy.
I want
Tuesday.
to know what the joke is.
She'll tell at the next meeting.
It better happen in this book.
It better happen. Tuesday, spelled correctly. Dear
What
Claudia.
if it's like a really horrible, like racist
Oh
joke?
God. Just like a Polish person joke.
Yeah, well, I mean, even worse, but yeah, Polish, or if it could be like an Irish joke or something like that.
I learned it from the Eastern European people who work at the boardwalk.
Right.
Which, that's funny because it's so true.
I
And that
know!
has not come up in this book at all.
I know.
Every
Hello
person
and
real
welcome to
thing.
McDonald's.
Ocean City, Maryland
Yeah.
is some like gorgeous Eastern European person. At least that's what I thought when I was like 12 years old.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
This is what I want to know. Is that just Ocean City or is it all East Coast boardwalks?
No idea.
Would you like fries with that?
When we went to Rehoboth, there was that adorable girl that worked in the ice cream shop. That was very
Bethany?
some sort of, or Bethany, yeah.
Okay.
Some kind of Eastern European.
I don't remember that.
She was cute because I was asking about the Cookie Monster ice cream.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, because it was Cookie Monster cookies and cream and it was blue.
And you had to know, is it a real monster?
Yes. Will it eat me back?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Will it eat me
it is an
back?
Eastern European folklore.
If you're lactose intolerant, yes.
Christ. My question was, is it blue just because it's blue, or is it blue because it's a flavor? Is it like blueberry flavored ice cream with
yeah.
Oreos in it?
Good question.
And she was so cute. She was like, it's the monster. And I was like, okay. That's
the monster.
really cute.
But was it like in a thick
is
accent?
it flavored? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, is it flavored? Like, is it blueberry or like something blue? Is it a different flavor? Is it just like cookies and cream? And she was like, it's the monster.
Okay.
And I was like, you're cute. I'm ordering it. I don't care what it tastes like.
Really quickly.
And
It was regular. It was just dyed blue.
Chris, you are the,
It was just the monster.
Eastern European ice cream girl. So you got to pitch it up. And Bekah, you're you. And we'll do
No, I'm not
super
doing
quick,
this
No,
again.
just a really quick reenactment. Just ask Chris.
I already did my part.
Okay,
just get Chris's lines.
Just ask it again.
No.
Jonathan, you play Bekah.
Here, I'm Bekah. Oh my god, I love all this ice cream. Look at all this ice cream. Oh,
Bekah, I thought you weren't going to do it again.
Cookie Monster, excuse me.
Yes.
I said girl.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because
Yeah.
you're nailing my voice.
Yeah. Is this the monster? Is it?
Now you're doing the
Why
voice.
is that like
Why is the
Doubtfire?
Oh no!
Oh my god, we have to read this book.
Oh. Tuesday, dear Claudia, I'm in love again.
Who's this?
I met a cute guy named Toby. Is Toby the mother boy helper?
Who's talking right now?
I think it's Stacy.
No,
Wait.
Alex is the mother boy helper.
Wait. Oh wait. Who? Who is?
Oh,
I think we're about to find out.
I think she doesn't really give a shit about Christy, but Claudia is like her best friend. So her letters to Claudia are way more
Okay.
filled in.
Okay. Dear Claudia, all caps. I'm in love again, and it's spelled L-U-V. I met a cute guy named Toby, and I mean.
Is that like an airport code?
L-U-V?
L-U-V.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What airport is she stuck in?
I mean, really cute. This one is my age, too, thank Christ. He has brown hair, brown eyes, and a few freckles. So unique. His clothes are extremely cool.
They're all mesh.
What could it be?
What could it be?
He's dressed like Poochie
year
from The
was this?
Simpsons.
I don't know what that is.
Big baggy pants, backwards baseball hat.
Okay, yes. That I don't know what year this is because I forget and I look it up every time, but that does sound year appropriate.
Monday and Tuesday were gorgeous days. I'd been nervous about my decision to avoid Scott. Why? But I didn't. I didn't need to have been.
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 I didn't need to
That's
have
worse
been.
than it had.
I know.
This was 1987.
87. All right.
From the way she writes her postcards, we already know she's illiterate.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's true. The very thing that I thought would happen did happen. All those other girls began hanging around him again, and he called them cutie and beautiful, just like he'd called me. I have to admit that hurt. I hadn't meant anything to him after all. Men are dogs. But I stayed with the Pike kids, working hard, and Tuesday passed. Yeah, that's your fucking job again. Then Wednesday dawned.
Jeez, John. let a girl have a little fun.
No, John, no. This bitch, all she's done this whole time is not work, and that's the only reason she's there.
All right.
And Marianne has picked up all the slack, and I'm on her side.
Okay.
I wasn't listening to any of that because I was thinking about a little monologue from a movie, and I couldn't remember which one it was. What? It's about how bad men are.
Oh.
I can't remember if it was either Fast Times at Ridgemont High or Clueless. I can't remember.
Either way, Amy Heckerling.
Yeah. Oh, she's the best.
Then Wednesday dawned. Another clear, sunny morning. You know what? Marianne said to me first thing that morning. What? I replied.
I think some of the kids are getting bored going to the beach every day. Oh, fuck these kids. That is so wasted on these kids.
Oh my god.
I feel like we went to the beach for like 4 days and they get 2 full weeks. Maybe we should split them up. One of us can take the bored ones into town or something, and the other can stay on the beach with the rest of the kids. You know, that's a good idea. It's gotten so that Nikki looks a little green every time we mention the beach.
One of them can take the bored ones to the boardwalk.
Of course, I was hoping to be the one to go into town, so I could avoid the beach for one more day. I could see you. My periphery, just like the shadow or whatever the fuck you said before.
That's right. I'm like the shadow, but with bad jokes.
But Mary Ann ended up with that job because of her sunburn problem. She's still sunburned.
Oh, that shit doesn't go away for a while.
Oh yeah, she was like on the verge of sun poisoning. She took Nikki, Mallory, Byron, and Margot to Trampoline Land and the miniature golf course. Claire had decided she didn't care to use her free passes. Oh, I hope she gave them to the other ones.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about the free passes.
Me too.
And I took Claire, Vanessa, Adam, and Jordan to the beach. There's an Adam. I don't know any of these kids' names.
I think he's one of the triplets.
Okay.
I don't think the parents know their names either.
No.
Right? In parentheses, Mr. and Mrs. Pike went to the boardwalk. With the kids or just on their own?
On their own.
Okay.
This is a vacation from their kids.
Yeah. That morning, I had no sooner gotten the kids lathered up with sunscreen and the chairs and towels set up than I heard Claire's sing-song voice proclaiming that someone was some stupid dumb bitch, stupid Claire thing to say. I looked around. Not far away were Claire and one of the kids that Mary Ann's friend Alex took care of. Blah, Mary sang again, hands on hips. She faced the little boy. Claire Pike, I shouted, just as the boy burst into tears over her blue streak of insults.
Oh my.
Claire, what are you doing? Nobody would play with me, she wailed, as if that explained everything. They're all in the water and they won't play with me. So why are you calling this boy a big dumb bitch? Claire shrugged. Well, say you're sorry and then go lie down on your towel for 10 minutes. I'll tell you when your time is up. Sorry, mumbled Claire, not sounding as if she meant it a bit. Then she marched off to our towels. Oh, God,
10 minutes is
Claire.
an eternity to a child.
It really is. With no phone.
10 minutes to lay on the beach? What a horrible life.
I looked
Probably
over
in
at
a book.
Alex.
She's probably in a paperback book.
She can't
She
read.
was fine.
She can't read.
I looked over at Alex. He and another boy were playing with the baby. Allie? Ellen? And another little kid on a blanket under an umbrella. Heaving a deep sigh, I led the crying boy to them. Uh-oh, said Alex. What happened? Claire was teasing him, I explained, pointing to Claire, who was pouting on her towel. I'm not sure why, but I'm really sorry. No problem, replied Alex cheerfully. Kids are always teasing each other. Listen, you're Stacy, right? He grinned, and I noticed that he had a very nice smile.
Stacey,
Right.
don't you fucking dare.
Show wing.
Right, I said, and you're Alex. Yep, and this is Ellie, the baby. Jimmy Kenny. Jimmy, comma, Kenny.
Oh,
who
I
was
thought-
drying
Oh.
his tears.
I was so upset.
And
know
Toby.
why.
Toby's my cousin. His family is staying in Sea City for a few days. That was when I got my first really good look at Toby. He was about 14 years old. Perfect. His brown hair was sort of waved back from his face. Oh, Dreamweaver. I was glad I could see his eyes because they were a beautiful deep brown, almost velvety looking. A handful of freckles was sprinkled across his nose and cheeks. He was wearing plain white swimming trunks. Bold. But his shirt was amazing. Tan with silly pictures of cowboy boots and cactuses all over it.
What? Stop everything. His shirt was amazing.
Tan with silly pictures of cowboy boots and
Don't
cactuses
act like
all
that's
over
not
it.
how both of you dress currently.
No, exactly. That is how
I do
both
have a
of us-
shirt with cowboys on it.
Pizza shirt.
That is exactly.
Space shirt.
Yeah, I've got a fucking cactus shirt, I think.
Probably.
That's incredible. I just
He's
don't
ahead of his time.
I just don't think a little girl, a 13-year-old girl is going to be like, Cowboy boots and cactuses on your shirt. Sign me up.
Oh shit! Here we go.
Not just cowboy boots and cactuses, but silly pictures of cowboy boots and cactuses.
Yeah, like the kinds I draw.
All right, these don't perfectly match, but she's about to describe his eyewear.
Okay.
And his sunglasses. Black bands with narrow slits from side to see through.
Holy shit, he's got
Totally
louvered
cool.
sunglasses.
I wished Claudia had been there. Hi, I said, hoping I didn't sound too eager. Hi, he replied, sounding as eager as I had tried not to sound.
Oh.
That was a pretty good bit of words there.
Yeah.
There was an awkward pause. Well, I said, I'd better get back to Claire. Okay.
How do you spell louvered?
Louvered.
Disappointed,
Okay.
I wandered back to our stuff, but when Claire's 10 minutes were up and the two of us began to amble toward the ocean, Toby ran after us. Hey, he said to Claire, do you know how to make witches' castles?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Claire looked intrigued. No, she replied. How? Toby led us to a patch of wet sand just beyond where the waves were coming in. I noticed, thankfully, that we were yards down the beach from the lifeguard stand. He showed Claire how to drip the wet sand through her fingers to make weird, blobby, fairy tale-ish shapes. Soon Claire was making a whole row of castles. She left Toby and
What do
me
you mean?
behind.
Oh, is
I know
that
exactly
universal?
what I know exactly what it is. You pick up
Oh.
like wet sand and then you drip it and it makes basically like stalactites. They're the ones
Mites.
that- I thought stalactites were the ones on the ground.
Tights are the ceiling ones because they hold tight to the ceiling.
But I thought mites were
But-
the
but-
ones
but-
because
but-
they might fall on you.
I thought it was stalagmites are called that because they might be stalactites.
Stalactites, ceiling, stalagmites, floor.
What did I say?
I don't
The
know.
wrong one.
Wasn't listening.
Oh, Chris was right.
Yes.
Yes, Chris was right.
Son of a bitch. All right.
Soon Claire
Breaking
was making
news. Chris was right.
Does that mean you have to put on the fucking glasses again?
No, I already
He already put them on.
It was a preemptive right.
Jesus Christ.
I just knew.
She left Toby and me behind. Well, I said after a while, where do you live? Lawrenceville, New Jersey, replied Toby. How about you? All right, hold on. Lawrenceville, New Jersey, replied Toby. How about you?
Yes.
You like
How about-
cowboys?
It's pronounced how about yous?
Stony Brook, Connecticut, but I grew up in New York. New York City? New York City?
I was drinking.
Remember that.
Yeah. Wow. This is great. Toby was 14. People should know,
Electric.
too, the typesetting, there's lots of air around these lines, so we really get to kind of soak in the dialogue. Toby was 14. He was going to be a freshman in high school. He played soccer and football. His hobby was computers. He had 2 older sisters. His favorite group was Smash. Why is
Smash
this?
what?
Wait, smash.
Oh my god.
Smash.
Why is this written in such a fractured way? His favorite food was peanut butter.
She's got
He
a
hated-
checklist.
Yeah, right. He hated history and geography. He liked math.
Ew.
He loved telling jokes. He didn't look at a single girl except me while we were talking. By the end of the morning, he and I knew everything about each other. And the two of us and Claire, joined by Alex, his kids, and Adam, Jordan,
his
and
kids.
Vanessa,
His
had
charges.
built an entire village of castles. People walking along the beach would pause to watch us. We hated to stop for lunch, but we had to. We were all dying of starvation. Afterward, though,
book
we
got
came
grim.
right back. The waves had destroyed part of our village, but we started building again anyway. So, said Toby, as he topped off a large castle, did you hear about the dying man named Al who wanted a city named after him?
People underline that.
I'm already upset that I'm gonna have to hear a joke.
No, I replied, smiling. Well, this guy Al knows he hasn't got much time left, so he says to his friend, he says, promise me they'll name a city after me. And his friend says, I promise, Al. And Al says, will it be big? And the friend says, sure will, Al. And Al says, will it be pretty? And the friend says, count on it, Al. They named a city Al? I interrupted. Toby grinned and went right on. And Al says, and you promise it'll be named after me? And the friend says, you betcha, Mr. Burkirky. Mr. Burkirky?
Mr. Bekah.
Mr. Bukaki.
Never have thought about Al Bekah.
Neither have I. Oh, that's a new sketch character. Al Bukaki.
Or a new city that you can visit.
My grandfather, Poppy.
Yeah.
His name was Al, and we would like jump on him because I don't know. We
Yeah,
were kids.
that's what you do.
We would just like jump on him in his chair. But like if you ever said "ow," like you hurt yourself, he would say, "Who's calling my name?"
Ah.
It sounded like,
I like
Al.
that.
It was very cute.
My dad would say that's not my name.
He would just say, "Who's calling my name?"
I like her granddad's more positive approach.
Yeah, same.
He was adorable.
Get it? Said Toby. The guy's name was Al Bukirky. It's really hard not to say Bukaki.
It really is.
It's really hard.
Always.
Albuquerque.
It's always right on the tip of your tongue.
Yeah.
As in
like-
New Mexico. I get it, I said. I fell over in the sand laughing hysterically. Oh, she really liked it. Claire pounced on me. Stacy, silly Billy Goo Goo.
Oh, God, it's so bad.
Vanessa.
That is so bad.
It's awful.
I appreciate your protest vote though,
Yeah.
Beth,
Yes.
that your refusal to say that silly
you.
Billy stuff. But I also think it's so bad that it's tempting to really put a little bit of a stank on it the way Jonathan did and just come out and
I'm
say it.
happy with you guys to do whatever you want with it, but I fucking refuse.
Oh no, I think it's funny when you
I
refuse to do it.
refuse.
What I like is that you're suggesting that what we're reading is a sanitized version of what the kids are actually saying.
Yes. And I think she's just swearing up
Yeah.
the storm.
Yes.
Stacy, dumb fucking bitch.
Yeah, right.
Stacy, you dumb cocksucker. It's just Deadwood. And Vanessa commented, joking, playing in the sun. Now this is what I call lots of fun. I forgot she rhymes. I looked up at Toby.
I hate that,
He
but
looked-
it like in comparison to Claire,
Yeah, it's better.
I don't
better.
care. Yeah, like I'll read her stupid rhymes.
Jesus Christ.
But don't you hate that in general when a character rhymes?
Oh yeah, when they don't have
Like-
to and they're not in
but
a
it's like-
poem.
But as the poems have to rhyme.
That is the.
Those are the rules.
That's the rules.
Those are the rules.
Yeah.
I don't mind when a character like speaks in rhyme. It's just like as long as it isn't like all the time.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Can someone be fired from this podcast?
No, he's a founder.
Why did I choose?
He's got tenure.
Yeah.
Why did I choose this moment to docu-sign our tax return?
I don't know.
I thought it would
They're
be
not-
faster, but it's
Oh, we're not getting money
complicated.
back.
It's asking me to pay for money.
No.
No, wait.
Stop it.
It's
I'm
one
really
thing to know.
confused.
It's one thing to know that a friend is like distracted during a conversation or like on their phone for a second, but to know that they're actually like choosing to do their
That's a really low
I've
vote of
had
confidence on this podcast.
More whiskey than I typically have on a weeknight these days, and I am mid-podcast signing tax documents
on your phone.
on my
Wait,
phone.
just close it. Don't do it right now.
I said
I
I,
think
did
that-
2 out of 4.
What?
I think that's illegal. Isn't there something in there that you sign? Doesn't the boilerplate somewhere say that you have to promise you're not doing a podcast at that moment?
Yeah, if you're doing a podcast, you have to owe double.
I don't know what the fuck is happening. I'm closing
Did you
it.
think about
Closing
doing it because
closing it down.
reading this book is so taxing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Bring in the thunder this episode.
I liked it. I looked up at Toby. He looked down at me. We began to laugh. I was in love again. That's the end of the chapter. But before I hand this to you to keep reading, I heard a funny joke today.
Did you?
I did, and apparently this is a Norm Macdonald joke. And I'll try and tell it very quickly as best I can remember. But basically, there's a guy that moves in to a new neighborhood, and his neighbor is out there, and he introduced himself, and he says, "I'm your new neighbor, and I'm teaching at the local college, and I teach logic." And the neighbor's like, "How do you teach? Well, I don't understand. What do you mean by logic?" And he's like, "Well, it's how you deduce, something with very little information." So the guy's like, "I don't get it." He's like, "Okay, well, I'll give you an example. Do you own a lawnmower?" And the neighbor says, "Yeah." And he goes, "Okay, well, I can deduce using logic. If you own a lawnmower, then you have a lawn. And if you have a lawn, then you have a house probably. And if you have a house, you probably live there with your wife. And the guy's like, oh, that's crazy. So that's logic? And he's like, yeah. So then later, the neighbor is at the bar with his friend, and he's telling him about his new neighbor. And his friend's like, so he teaches logic? I don't understand. And the guy's like, it's really easy. I'll explain it to you. Do you own a lawnmower? And the guy says, no. And he says, well, then you're gay.
That was funny.
I know.
That was surprisingly funny.
Rest in peace, Norm Macdonald.
Oh, yeah. Chapter 13. Friday. Dear Christy, the kids are antsy. It's their last day here. They want to do everything one last time, but they're also excited about coming home. I'll probably see you before you get this card. Love, Stacy. Friday. Dear Claudia, I'm going out with Toby tonight. For real. We have an evening on the boardwalk planned. I'll tell you all about it when I see you. Love ya, Stace. Friday was our last day in Sea City. The next morning, we would pack up the car and leave. I couldn't believe the 2 weeks were almost over. Guess how Mrs. Pike began our last day. She said to Marianne and me, you girls deserve another night off. At 5 o'clock this afternoon, you're on your own. Just be home by 10. 5 whole hours. We were ecstatic, but we tried not to show just how ecstatic we were. We didn't want the kids to think we didn't enjoy taking care of them. Friday's weather was not the greatest. It was in and out, cloudy and sunny, and rain was predicted for the next day. So it was fine. It was just a little cloudy. I thought that was a good thing because going home would be easier if we weren't leaving brilliant sunshine behind.
However, despite the clouds, the kids wanted to go to the beach. I want to make one last witch castle, said Claire. We want to play one last game of sharks, said Jordan. Each kid had a last wanna. While they were taking care of the wannas, I said to Marianne, I just had a great idea. What if Alex could get tonight off too? Maybe you and I and Alex and Toby could go to the boardwalk together or something. Mm-hmm. Together? Repeated Marianne warily. You know, I said, a sort of, double date. Marianne turned pale and then proceeded to vomit profusely. Marianne, I said double date, not blind date. It's not as if you've never seen Alex before. You know him. You like him. But girls aren't supposed to ask guys out. Oh,
it's
Marianne.
against the rules.
That is so old-fashioned. Besides, this is our last chance.
But she's wrong, though, because whores do it. You know?
That should be a comfort to Marianne.
Yeah.
Besides, this is our last chance. If we don't say something and we don't go out with Toby and Alex tonight, we'll probably never see them again. That's true. Good. Now go ask Alex if he can get the night off. Me? This was your idea. Yeah, but Alex is your friend, I told her. Well, Marianne surprised me. She got up and walked over to Alex's spot on the beach. I watched her in her caftan and baseball cap. I wished I could hear what she was saying, but the wind was blowing in the wrong direction. All I know is that she came back with a grin on her face, looking a little smug, actually, and said, We're on. We're supposed to meet them at Hercules' Hot Dogs at 6 o'clock. I want to go to Hercules' Hot Dogs.
I know. First Burger Garden, and now Hercules' Hot Dogs. God damn. Sea City sounds awesome.
It doesn't sound at all like Ocean City.
Not at all. Their workers are Western
no
European.
Burger Garden. You just have the dough roller.
What is that like?
They're all laconic Frenchmen.
I'd talk through your funny joke.
Yeah.
That was a good joke. Just delete my microphone out of that.
No.
Marianne and I spent almost an hour from 5 until 5:45. There's M dashes here. You can tell AI wrote it. From 5 until 5:45, getting ready to see Toby and Alex. We didn't have much choice about what to wear, so we ended up in the same clothes we'd worn on our last night off. Can you believe it?
Oh my god, but Marianne looked like shit.
Oh, yeah.
She was wearing
She was like yellow on yellow.
Yellow on yellow. It was so bad, John. You don't even know.
John, you don't even know.
There's a part of me that makes me glad I wasn't here for that.
Yeah.
Because I would have lost my shit right there.
The same outfit again?
We kept thinking of other things to do. I better file my nails, said Mary Ann. They're all ragged.
What, are you going to finger him? Sorry, I've had a lot of whiskey and zero dinner.
God, I hope so.
My God.
You seem like you should be doing some taxes. You got that tax doing kind of spirit right now.
I got real tax energy right now.
You got that tax glow.
I better put on nail polish, I replied. I've got pink sparkles and yellow sparkles. Want to borrow the yellow? Sure.
What, are you not going to finger him?
Much yellow, Marianne.
Oh, and I should put on hand lotion. My perfume, I cried. Where is it? I don't know. Do you have any lip gloss? Sure, here. Ew, look at my hair. Yours? Ew, look at mine. Somehow, though, we were on our way to the boardwalk at 5:45 and standing in front of Hercules's at 5:55. The boys showed up promptly at 6. Mary Ann elbowed me when she saw them heading towards us. Doesn't Alex look great? She whispered excitedly. He did look great, but I thought Toby looked greater. I didn't say so, of course. Toby was wearing these baggy white cotton pants and an oversized blue and white striped sweater. Totally cool.
Yeah. He had a puka shell necklace and a
He
backwards baseball hat.
He said, taking me by the elbow. Huh? I replied. I'm glad you could come tonight. Yeah, me too. Are you guys hungry? I asked. Starved, said Alex. Let's eat. Hercules'
John,
main
is this how you
feature.
talked in 1987?
This is how I talk on dates. You guys want? You want some? You want a sandwich? The thing about being cool back then was you just had to seem really low energy.
Yeah.
Like you didn't give a shit about anything.
Exactly.
I don't know. Hercules' main feature was hot dogs that really were an entire foot long. None of these 11.5-inch bastards that they try to trick you with. We sat at the
I
counter
thought
and
that
gave...
Hercules' hot dogs was... Their gimmick was the regular size hot dogs, but that a giant man worked there.
Yes.
And he handed them to you, and they looked really tiny in his huge hands.
Well, that's what it is he comes out, and you're like getting mad going,
Why
oh my
would
God,
that be
what?
what you think?
Why is he bringing me such tiny hot dogs? And then he hands them to you, and the scale kind of makes itself clear.
Yeah.
And you're like, holy
Yeah.
shit!
Oh my God. And he's like, my dad's Zeus!
Hercules' main feature was hot dogs that really were an entire foot long. We sat at the counter and gave our orders to a waitress. I got a hamburger. Mary Ann and I... There's nothing happening in this book. Mary Ann and I ate
Welcome
about
to the book.
We ate about 2/3 of our food. The boys finished their hot dogs.
Just like girls should.
Yes.
Don't you finish a meal, spray Windex on it like Oprah does.
What?
That's what Oprah did. That was her diet advice.
Spray Windex
Spray
on
Windex
it?
on your food so you don't finish it.
Why don't you just not make that food?
That's
It's a great
so...
question.
Everything's
I don't
wrong
think
with
Oprah
it.
made her own food.
No, everything's wrong with it.
The boys finished their hot dogs, then we sprayed Windex on our food, and then they finished our food.
And then they died.
Who owes who a Coke for that? That was
I know, yeah, I know. I think we owe each other a Coke because that was perfect.
Then they each ordered another dog. Mary Ann, that is, began to look a little green just watching them eat.
This part's underlined. They kept slathering the dogs up with mustard and dumping spoonfuls of sauerkraut on them while Toby told the longest joke in the history of comedy. And here it is. Just kidding.
God.
In order to get Marianne's eye off the hot dogs, I nudged her and murmured, Marianne! Yeah! She whispered. Would it be okay with you if Toby and I went off by ourselves for a while? I mean, would you feel okay about being alone with Alex and all these hot dogs? Marianne looked thoughtful. Then a slow smile spread across her face. Yeah, she said.
Like the Grinch.
I would feel okay. Yeah, and just like the Grinch, her heart grew 3 sizes that day, but it was mostly from the hot dogs. I grinned. If we hadn't been sitting in the middle of Hercules' hot dogs, I would have hugged her. But I didn't, because we were sitting in the middle of Hercules' hot dogs, and I didn't want to look gay.
I was about to say, you can't hug a friend in public.
I know.
You can't show friendly affection. In a hot dog place?
And not in a hot dog. Not when there's hot dogs.
No. That's not hot dog behavior.
It's not hot dog behavior.
Yeah, there's a sign at the front that says "Strong shoulder pats only."
Yeah. It's a Hercules' hot dogs, and then under it, almost as big as Hercules' hot dogs, it says "No hugging." And if Hercules sees you hugging, he comes and he slaps the dog right out of your hand.
Yeah.
You don't deserve one.
Don't deserve one.
You get banned for life.
Don't make me call my father. And then the guy comes out with the cattle
All
prod.
right.
Thank you.
I was going to say, then the sky rumbles. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. At last,
I was going to say that, but I didn't.
you were gonna.
Yeah.
Thank God you didn't.
I know.
At last, the end of the boys' hot dogs disappeared into their mouths. That's a way of putting it. We left Hercules's. What do you want to do now? Asked Alex. Look around the stores, Marianne replied. Go to the arcade, I replied. So we split up. Toby and I played a dart-throwing game. I won a hat for him. He won a teddy bear for me. Later, I named the teddy bear... I named the bear Toby Bear.
God.
It must have been beginner's luck, or maybe...
You don't need to tell us that.
We all knew that.
Disgusting.
It must have been beginner's luck, or maybe beginner's love. Because after that, we played 3 other games and didn't win anything. It's almost like they're rigged. It was starting to grow dark. Let's walk around, I said.
Murder a hobo.
I liked just looking at the lights and listening to the boardwalk sounds and smelling the boardwalk smells. Vinegar. We came to a shell shop and peered in. Come on, said Toby. Inside were shelves and bins full of nothing but seashells. I was pouring through a box of tiny conch shells when Toby handed me a little paper bag. What's this? I asked as we walked outside.
Open it. I did. Inside was a skinny, pale pink shell. It's to remember me by, said Toby. For some reason, I couldn't smile at him. I felt like crying instead.
It looks like my
I
dick.
whispered. I was thinking that, but then I was like, I already said something too horny earlier because of all the whiskey, so then I didn't say it. So
I
thank
almost
you.
didn't say it, and now I'm really glad I did.
I'm glad you did too. Toby took my hand. Hey, there's the Tunnel of Love, LUV. Let's buy tickets for it. The Tunnel of Love was like no ride I'd ever been on. It wasn't noisy, it didn't jerk you around corners, and nothing jumped out at you.
It didn't. That
Very
sucks.
tame.
Yeah.
Toby and I sat side by side in this boat shaped like a swan and floated lazily through a dark tunnel in which soft music was playing. Just before we left the tunnel, Toby leaned over and kissed me gently. My first kiss! I couldn't believe it. I also can't. I just assumed she kissed someone in New York because she's so New Yorky.
She's from New York.
She's from New York. I knew I would never forget Sea City or the boardwalk or the Tunnel of Love. Or Toby. I would never, ever forget Toby.
Until the next day.
Yeah, we've known Toby for like 1 chapter.
Yeah.
You still going, or am I reading this
No,
one?
I'm good. You can.
No, I'm good.
Chapter 14.
Becca's done with this book.
I'm so done.
14 chapters so far. Feels
That did
like
feel
80.
kind of like an ending, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah.
Most the whole last half of this book has felt like an
nothing
ending.
happened, so what else could happen?
That's what I said at the end of the last episode.
I didn't want Saturday morning to come. I wanted Friday night in Sea City to last forever. Toby and me in the Tunnel of Louvre. But there was no stopping Saturday. I woke up early that morning and lay in bed, just thinking and remembering. I looked over at Marianne, who was curled up in a ball. Her hair was falling across her face, and she was breathing deeply. Outside the window, the waves crashed, pounding the shore. The sky was a threatening gray. A lone seagull wheeled low over the sand. The salt air came in our open window on a breeze that felt chilly. I pulled my covers more tightly around me. It seemed like the end of summer as well as the end of our vacation. You dumb bitch. I was amazed at all the things that had happened in the
Was
last
that just
2
to
weeks.
get people's attention?
Well, no, it's just like, it's not the end of summer. Like, there's more summer.
There's a lot more summer.
It was just 2 weeks.
This has been, yeah.
I was amazed at all the things that had happened in the last... This is so reflective. I was amazed at all the things that had happened in the last 2 weeks.
My God.
I'd been away from home. I'd stayed on my diet and taken my insulin and hadn't gotten sick.
Thank God.
I'd met
That is
2
the most
boys I
she's
liked.
mentioned that this entire time.
Yes.
There was half a conversation about it, and then she went to a burger place, and then a hot dog place, and then a candy place.
Yeah. She's fine.
I mean, I'm glad she's healthy, but I'm just saying, that wasn't a plot point.
I'd stayed on my diet and taken my insulin and hadn't gotten sick. I'd met 2 boys I liked, and one of them had kissed me. I smiled. Toby was going to come by that morning to say goodbye. I was excited and sad at the same time. Stacy, you dumb fucking bitch, whispered a voice.
We should have done this the whole
We
time.
should have.
I tiptoed to the door and opened it. There stood Claire. She was stark naked. Claire, what are you doing? Looking for my bathing suit, she replied. Will you come to the beach with me? Sure, I
Like
said.
this?
An early morning walk might be nice, but it's too cold for a suit. Why don't you? Get dressed very quietly.
I'll meet you downstairs in a few minutes. When Claire and I were dressed, we put on sweatshirts and tiptoed out the front door of the Pike's house. The sky and the ocean were almost the same color, flat gray, but no rain was falling. Claire ran to the water's edge. Don't go in, I called after her. I won't, she said. I'm just looking. You're looking like you're about to go in, I said. That's not really what she said. Claire stood and looked forever. I'd never seen her stay in one place for so long. While she was looking, I stooped down and picked up a piece of driftwood. Then I clubbed her with it. Then I found a flat patch of wet sand and wrote, Stacy plus Toby equals LUV. I watched and watched.
That's a callback, John, to earlier in the book. She wrote Stacy and
Scott.
Foley equals LUV, just so you know.
She's just running through guys.
She thought that Scott Foley had real statutory rapist potential.
Yes.
I watched and watched, but the waves didn't wash it away. So then I knew it would never be washed away.
Yes.
At breakfast
There's
that
no
morning,
such thing as high tide.
No one else will
Mr.
ever walk near here.
or rain,
Yeah.
Mr. Pike finished his eggs, wiped his mouth, and said, Hey, hey, everybody, guess what it's time for?
What?
What, you stupid cunt? Asked Claire, bouncing around in her chair. The chore hat. Oh,
What?
no. Oh, no, moaned Mallory.
Is the chore hat something you put on and it goes vacuuming?
We'll find out. The triplets groaned.
Oh my God.
Mary Ann and I looked at each other and shrugged. I've put the names of 8 chores in the hat, Mr. Pike went on. Pass it around, kids. We have work to do this morning, and we have to leave by 1 o'clock.
What is this, an Airbnb?
That's a late checkout time. 1
It
o'clock.
really is.
Oh, that's a 1987 checkout time. Checkout times, check-in and out times have been fucking us harder every single year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It used to be like 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it used to be noon.
Now it's like you can't check in until 4.
Yeah. You used to be able to check in.
You have to check out at 9 a.m.
You used to be able
Yeah.
to check in like shortly after noon and then
Yeah.
like leave by around noon. And now it's like 4 and like 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Fucking bullshit.
It's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Shrinkflation.
Yeah.
I like that we've gotten to the part where this book should have ended, but it hasn't. And so now we're literally witnessing the characters planning on cleaning up after the book.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
the
this is-
worst
this is-
day of a vacation.
Right, the part that you don't normally put in the story.
It feels like even the writer's like, what am I doing?
Yeah, we didn't have a conflict in this. We forgot to write a conflict, so there's no resolution.
I just don't
so
know
I
how to
guess they
end
just
it.
have to clean up after themselves.
Yeah.
Right, if you're getting to the end and you're like, I gotta put something kind of zippy in this book. I know. 8 chores.
Yes. Chore hat.
But, you know, as all writers have little things that you just think you might work into a book one day, you know?
Mm-hmm.
He probably had like a note card on the wall that just said chore hat.
Yeah.
It's like one day
and
chore hat.
it's like yellowed and like
Yeah.
the corners are like curling in. That's how long it's been there.
And
Yep.
Martin's finally like,
Yes.
the chore hat.
And then she writes it and then it crumbles into dust.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually kind of beautiful.
Yeah, I know.
That's actually more dramatic than anything that's happened in this book.
That's correct.
We have to leave by 1 o'clock. Reluctantly, remember the tangent that sent us on? The checkout time thing. That was
was
so
fun.
fun.
It was fun.
It really
We
was
should
fun.
relive that
We had a
again.
good time.
Reluctantly, the Pike kids passed the hat. Each ended up with a chore such as sweeping the porch or collecting the sand pails. I realized we had a lot to do before we left for Stony Brook. Stacy and Marianne, said Mr. Pike, or Mrs. Pike, I never know which, can you supervise the children's packing?
Cool. Sure, we replied. A couple hours later, the kids had finished their chores and were fairly well packed up. Mr. and Mrs. Pike were working away, but they turned us loose on the beach. Although the day was still gray, the air was warmer and it hadn't rained yet. The lifeguards were on duty, so the kids ran to the water for a final swim. Marianne and I sat down on our towels. We hadn't brought anything else to the beach. "It's almost over," said Marianne sadly. "It seems like we just got here," I told her. "Yeah." We hugged our knees and looked out at the ocean.
But not each other.
Not each other. No, no, no. Scott was on the guard station, but I barely noticed him. I was thinking of Toby. Marianne looked dreamy-eyed. She'd already told me what she
I
and
wish she had at least done like a revenge plot.
on Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like throw a bunch of bread around his lifeguard stand so the seagulls would attack
that'd be
him.
great.
Like, bring him a soda, but it's diet.
Or like shake it up.
Yes.
Like bring him a soda and shake it up, and then he's like, "Thanks, beautiful," and it's like,
Yeah. I thought something would happen,
no, nothing. Nothing happens.
but nothing happened.
Marianne looked dreamy-eyed. She'd already told me that what she and Alex had done the night before, and I can't print it here. They'd sat by the ocean and talked, and then they'd gone through the tunnel of love, too. "Hey," she said, "look who's coming." Toby and Alex were heading across the sand with Kenny, Jimmy, and Ellie. Kenny, Jimmy, and Ellie. That's hard to say. We waved to them. "Come sit over here," I called. The boys came over, but they didn't sit down. "We're just out for a walk," said Alex. "We had to go back, but we wanted to say goodbye." "Oh no!" cried Marianne. "I hate goodbyes!" They had to be said, though, because the boys really couldn't stay. Toby walked me away from the others so we could have a little privacy.
Oh my God, this is a prequel to that song, The Boys Are Back in Town.
It's called The Boys Just Left Town.
The boys really couldn't stay.
The boys really couldn't stay. "Promise you'll write," I said. We had exchanged addresses the night before. "I promise. Do you?" I nodded. I'm not much of a letter writer, as we have seen. But maybe I'd feel different writing to Toby. "Well," said Toby. "Well," I said. This is like a
Getting
bi-cute.
sleepy. A bi cute. Meet cute.
A part cute.
Yeah.
I guess this is it. Yeah, I guess. "I want to kiss you," Toby whispered. "But there are too many people around."
What'll they think?
"That's okay," I said. The 16 eyes of the Pike kids were boring holes into us all the way from the ocean. "Will you remember me?" "Like Christopher Pike?" asked Toby. "Always. By the shell and by the bear."
Jesus Christ.
That's our thing now. That's the thing we'll say.
That was
By the shell and by the bear.
that's the name of my folk album that I wrote while I was in a cabin in the woods.
"I'll remember you by the hat." Toby was wearing it. He patted it fondly.
What does the hat look like? I want to know.
I don't remember.
What do you think? A bucket hat.
You know what
Have
I
they
keep
described
picturing?
it?
Did you guys watch
No, we didn't.
What We Do in the Shadows?
Yeah.
You know
No,
that
The
cursed
leather
hat?
hat. Yeah.
the witch's asshole hat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god.
That's literally what I've pictured every time the hat has come up.
As soon as they walk away, he throws it in the trash.
Oh my god.
"Well," said Toby again. "Bye, Stacy."
Well,
"Bye," I replied. I stayed where I was and watched him walk back to Alex and the kids.
I hate to see you go.
Yeah,
but
I know
love
what
to-
you.
Wait,
I
what
was
is
doing
it?
the
What
same
is it?
thing.
What is it? What is it?
It's like I hate
I hate
it
to
when
say-
you leave, but I love to watch you walk away.
Yeah,
Nailed it.
that's it.
I stayed where I was and watched him walk
Me
back.
and
to
John are
Alex
both
and the kids.
married
Very smooth.
To women.
to women.
A few moments later, they started up the beach, leaving Marianne by herself. Toby turned around once to wave to me. Then they disappeared behind a sand dune. I ran to Marianne. She was crying.
Jesus.
Marianne, I whispered. All the kids are watching. I know. She wiped her eyes. I'm really okay. I gave her a quick hug.
Don't let them sense weakness.
They can't see us kiss and they can't see us cry. Those are the 2 rules of Babysitters Club.
A quick hug behind a sand dune is okay, though.
Yeah.
A quick hug, but no crying. Marianne nodded. Oh, wait. I gave her a quick hug. We'll talk about this at home tonight, okay? Marianne nodded. My eyes drifted across the beach to the lifeguard stand and Scott. For some reason, he turned around then. He saw me and waved. I waved back because I'm a dumb bitch.
Yeah, what?
Marianne, I said, there's something I have to do. It'll only take a minute. I ran across the sand to Scott. Hey, babe, he greeted me. Long time no see. I've been busy, I replied vaguely. We're leaving today. You are? Hey, too bad, love. I'll miss you. What he'll miss, I thought, is someone to run errands for him.
Yeah.
But somehow I couldn't feel mad about it anymore because I knew Scott really did like me, even if he didn't love me.
No, he didn't.
Scott liked sandwiches.
Scott liked
and soda.
Taking advantage of girls.
And he's got a lot of other girls to do that.
Oh
he doesn't.
God.
He's not going to miss that.
Daisy, you're stupid.
Thanks
my
again
God,
for your
Stacey.
whistle, I said. I'll blow it the next time an 18-year-old tries to talk to me. I'll always keep it. I'd never wear it, but I'd keep it to remind me of the first boy I ever fell in love with. I'd put it in a drawer, though.
It's a
not on a
cautionary
shelf. Not on a shelf where I plan to sit Toby Bear, or on my dresser where I plan to put the seashell. Hey, Stacy, Byron yelled from the water's edge. Mom's calling us. I turned around. Mrs. Pike was at the front door of the house, signaling to us. The rest of the Pike kids were wading ashore. Marianne was gathering up towels. I have to go, I said. I hope you like college, Scott. Thanks. You be good now, babe.
Gross.
Ugh.
Gross.
I joined the Pike kids and herded them across the sand to Marianne, biting at their heels if they were led astray. Just as we were running into the house, rain began to fall. Claire burst into tears. I don't want to leave, she cried. I picked her up and gave her a hug. I don't want to either, but it's time to leave. Hey, you'll be coming back next summer. Think of that. Yeah, said Claire, sniffling, and we could eat at Gerber Garden. And play miniature golf. And jump on the trapper leads. Claire began to smile.
Oh my God,
when everyone was dressed, we
so
loaded up the
dumb.
cars. We seemed to have an awful lot more stuff than we'd left Stony Brook with. Ain't that the truth? Mm-hmm. But after pushing and shoving and groaning, we found places for everything and everyone. We split into the same traveling groups as before. As we were pulling out of the driveway, Mr. Pike called to Mrs. Pike, First stop, Ellen Cook's, to return the keys. Next stop, ice cream. Jingle bells, Santa smells, sang Nikki. I hate that song, Nicholas, said Mallory.
Nicholas.
Christ.
Chris,
Oh, you want me to?
you may as well.
Goodbye, Sea City, you dumb fucking town, cried Claire. Where's the barf bucket? Asked Margot. I sighed. We were on our way home.
I sighed.
Oh, there's more.
There's one
Fuck,
more.
I thought we were done.
I think it's the last. I think
I
it's the
was
last chapter.
So emotionally ready for that to be the end.
I don't understand how it's not.
Chapter 15. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. I'm home. I let myself into our house, feeling absolutely exhausted. Claire had asked how many more minutes till we get there 29 times between our ice cream stop and Stony Brook. Stacy! My parents ran out of the kitchen and folded me into a happy 3-person hug. How are you? Asked Dad. Did you have fun? Asked Mom. What did you do? Asked Dad. Did you have any problems with your insulin level? Asked
Oh
Mom.
my God. That is
Look
the
at your
most mom
tan.
thing to say.
Exclaimed Dad. What happened to your hair? Asked Mom. Although we had left rain behind in Sea City, the sun was shining in Stony Brook. Mom and Dad and I sat on our back deck and talked and talked. I didn't exactly tell my parents everything. I left out Scott and Toby and all the fingering. But I told them a lot. I told them how easy it had been to stick to my diet and that my insulin levels had been fine. That was the truth. And I told them that the sun had lightened my hair. That was half the truth.
My hormone levels were another story.
I can't believe it came back in the last chapter.
And it was still nothing.
And it was still nothing.
It was pointless.
But it did come back.
And also, you can do that with a lemon. It doesn't even need to be sun in, but...
I'm just happy for you that it did come back.
I am happy, too.
I really thought it wasn't going to come up.
And then a sentence that everyone has said.
Very happy for me.
What's gone on around here? I wanted to know.
Just like
It's
a 13-year-old girl says.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perchance. It's been pretty quiet, said Mom. Oh, before I forget, Claudia phoned about an hour ago. The Kishis are back, and she wants you to call her. Okay, I said, but I was in no hurry to move. I was too tired. Dad made iced tea, and we sat on the deck and drank it as the sun dropped behind the trees in the yard.
I waited until after dinner before I went to my room and picked up the phone. I wished I had my own private telephone number like Claudia did, but I knew I was lucky to even have an extension in my room. I closed my door, then I lay down on my bed. That's such a great dated reference, because that doesn't exist anymore. But
100% relate, because
Yeah.
I did have a phone in my room, but it wasn't a separate line, so
Yeah, same.
my sister
Same.
could
Same.
pick it up downstairs and ruin my phone call, and vice versa.
I feel like you had to be... Like, I just feel like it was like a rich thing. Like, if someone had like a separate line, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god,
That
you
was
have two
unheard
phone
of.
num-
I
yeah,
mean,
that's insane.
like I feel like I knew of the concept,
Yeah.
but I didn't know anyone that had that.
I don't think I.
We
know.
didn't have separate lines until my dad started a small business.
Well, that makes sense.
That makes sense. I didn't know any fellow children with their separate line.
Do you still remember, without saying the numbers, do you still remember friends' phone numbers?
Fuck no. Oh my
Some of
god,
them.
no.
Some of them.
I remember one of them.
I think I could say what they were because I don't think those numbers are real anymore.
Probably not in service.
867-5309.
Yeah, that's right. That was
Good
Jenny's
one.
number.
That was, yeah. Oh, you know Jenny?
Oh wait, no, that was the wait. Is that the number that Jenny calls, or is that Jenny's number?
No, that's Jenny's number. You know,
Okay,
for a
that's
good
Jenny's
time.
number. I should have been more confident in my first guess. But like my first girlfriend's number was 722-6250. I remember that.
I'm
Nice.
writing that down.
Write it down.
The other
What was the area code?
205. I really don't think. Hey, if anybody
right.
calls that
The
number
area
right there, I bet none of the Frost family live there anymore. So I'm not
Frost,
worried.
I got a last name.
Oh my
You're
god.
doxing the hell out of this
Oh
girl.
my god. If she
I
lives
don't know
there,
why I
that
wrote it
sucks.
That sucks.
I closed my door. Then I lay down on my bed. I dialed Marianne. I was dying to call Claudia, but I knew Marianne needed me, and I really wanted to talk to her. Hi, she said when she answered. It's me, Stacy. I wanted to see how you're doing. Oh, I'm fine, said Marianne. I'm sorry I cried before, like a little bitch. I just didn't think saying goodbye to him, Alex, I mean, would be so sad. I didn't... Oh, I don't know. I'm so embarrassed. Don't be embarrassed. Why are you embarrassed? I don't know. Marianne, he's a boy, I told her. And it's okay to like a boy. But I never liked one before. I've always been sort of afraid of them. They seem awful. Then I'm glad you met Alex. I'm glad he helped change your mind about boys.
Thank God.
They're not alien creatures,
Thank God
you
she
know.
knows that boys are good.
Hashtag not all men.
It's time
Not
these
all
boys caught a
boys.
break.
Not all boys. Call back. Marianne giggled. I know. Hey, Stace, I want to tell you something. Strap in. I understand now how you felt about Scott at first. I'm sorry I gave you such a hard time about not helping out and
Don't
everything.
apologize,
Don't
Marianne.
apologize. You did all the work.
Yeah.
You should get...
She should get like
she should get
75% of that cut.
I was just going to say. I was going to say 3/4. You said 75%. It's the same amount.
We need to eat
Very
dinner.
Same
good.
page. Guys, we need to eat dinner and stop drinking liquor.
I disagree, but okay.
That's okay. I guess
Eat liquor.
I need to eat liquor. That's it. That's
Drink dinner.
I guess I really wasn't being very fair. I did stick you with more than your share of the work, and that wasn't right. Besides, when a person is babysitting, the kid should come first, no matter what. Do you forgive me? Sure, Marion replied. Do you forgive me? For what? Of course, I said, like a narcissist. Hey, said Marianne, starting to giggle. Remember when all the Pike kids tried to give me sunburn remedies?
That was a really cute scene.
That was
to be
pretty
fair.
cute. That was pretty good.
Yeah, and when Claire won those free games from Fred, and the look on Adam's face when Nikki got the hole-in-one, all this stuff just happened.
It's all happened in the book. We all read it.
And the look on your face when Alex said he and Toby would double date with us, we were both laughing hysterically. I wonder if anyone ever found the box of chocolates you left on the bench on the boardwalk, I went on. Thinking about Scott and the girl made me sad. But
You know who did find it? Like, just a little bit of lore about this book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kurt Cobain is the one who found it.
Wow. It
I was
really
going to say
formative for him.
a kid
Yeah,
with
it really did.
diabetes.
Oh, and then he wrote Heart-Shaped Box.
Yes.
That's the joke. But I can remember the chocolates and laugh, or look at his whistle and smile. Oh, I hope so, said Marianne. Listen to me. I'm laughing so hard I'm crying. I could hear her sniffling and snuffling.
Gross.
Did you and Alex exchange addresses? I asked. Yep. There was a pause. We exchanged something else, too, she said finally.
Bodily fluids.
What? On the boardwalk on Friday night. I didn't exactly tell you the whole story. Yeah? We found this place where you can buy rings and have stuff engraved on them. So he has a ring with my initials and I have one with his.
Oh my god.
Ooh, Marianne, a ring, I exclaimed. That sounds serious. Well, it isn't, she replied. I mean, not really. Are you going to wear it? On a chain around my neck, not on my finger. I don't want Dad to see it. He'd probably lock me up until I'm 21. That's fair. Her dad is very
That's right.
overprotective.
Yeah.
We do know that.
A boy?
He won't notice it on your neck.
Your
No.
first vacation without me and you are engaged?
Oh, happy day.
I'm not prepared to give a dowry.
You're not my problem anymore.
Maybe not, I said. Maybe not, she agreed. Listen, I have to go, I told Marianne. Claudia called this afternoon and I haven't called her back yet. Okay, I guess I should call Dawn and Christy.
Marianne? Yeah? I'm really glad we got to know each other better. Oh, me too. Well, bye. Bye. I pressed the button, listened for the dial tone, and called Claudia without even hanging up the phone. She answered on the first ring.
That's a pro move.
Hi. I can't believe I'm talking to you. How come it took so long for you to call? How are you? How was the trip? Oh, I got all your postcards. I'm really sorry about Scott. Oh my God. I laughed. How are you? Great. Our vacation was fabulous. It was good for Mimi. She's getting better. And there were arts and crafts at the place we went to, and I threw a pot. You what? I threw a pot. Why?
Right at the wall.
I mean, I made a pot, you know, on a potter's wheel. That's what it's called. Throwing a pot. Oh. So fucking dumb.
Riveting.
The teacher said it was the best one she'd ever seen a beginner make, so Mom and Dad said maybe I could take a pottery class here when school begins. That's great. Did you meet anyone interesting? You mean any interesting guys? Of course. Of course. You did? Yeah, his name is Skip. He's 3. I babysat for him because I was working.
That's a good one, Claudia. You're
No,
my favorite.
seriously, I cried.
Seriously, said Claudia. There weren't any guys my age up there, unfortunately. But I was busy enough just reading your postcards.
Yeah, wasn't she at
So-
like a ski lodge?
I don't know.
So what finally happened with Scott and Toby? And what was the great present Scott gave you? Oh, Scott gave me his lifeguard whistle. I'll show it to you sometime. What a thrill. And he and I are friends.
It works just like a real whistle.
Although we'll probably never see each other again, or even write. And Toby and I are... well... what? On our last night in Sea City, Mrs. Pike gave Marianne and me the evening off, and we went on a double date with Toby and his cousin Alex. I could almost hear Claudia's jaw drop. Marianne went out on a double date? Yep. With a boy? What else? I can't believe it. I can't believe it. And she really likes the guy, I added. Anyway, after we ate supper, we split up, and Toby bought me a pink seashell to remember his penis.
It's so fun to relive this all again.
Jesus Christ.
This isn't tedious at
Oh
all.
my God.
He won a teddy bear for me, too. We're going to
I
write each
remember.
other.
What
I
did
hope.
you did you name it something? Did you name it after him?
He sounds really nice, Stace, said Claudia. Yeah. So how are the Pike kids? Oh, they're fine.
The who?
I think they had a great time. I feel like I know them so well now, too. I mean, understand them. You know why Nicky's a pest? Why? Because he wants to be one of the guys. But sometimes the triplets don't let him play with them. Then he feels left out of the whole family. And Byron's different than we thought he was. He's quieter than Adam and Jordan, more serious. Kind of sensitive. And Vanessa can drive you crazy with this poetry kick she's on, but she's really a good little kid. Oh, and Mallory was a big help. We put her in charge of a few of the kids sometimes. And she did fine.
Listen, when are we having our next Babysitters Club meeting Monday? When are we having our... Hey, Claudia. Hey, Claudia,
What?
listen. Claudia,
What's our next Monday meeting?
Listen.
What?
When are we having our next...
You want to do this? You want to read this back and forth?
Yeah. Okay, I'll
Okay.
be Stacy, you'll be Claudia.
Okay.
Listen. When are we having our next Babysitters Club meeting? Monday?
I think so. We're all back.
Great. I can't wait to talk to Dawn and see how California was. And Christy must have had a trillion sitting jobs while we were all away,
There's only one bad thing about all of this.
said Claudia. What?
Why did you say that?
Because it was funny.
Okay, but I mean, why did you say that I said? Okay, that's just confusing. You confuse me sometimes. I wonder if you got too much sun at the beach.
You're just reading her lines. I'm still reading the rest.
He's taking character. You're losing your character.
I'm just worried one of these days I'm gonna laugh at Jonathan's brain breaking and someone's gonna have to tell me it's not funny.
It's not funny this
It's
time.
not funny anymore, Chris.
It's actually sad.
We just lightly touch your arm.
It's been lightly touch your arm. And just
The
like
summer's-
shake your head.
Not this time.
The summer's almost over, and school's gonna begin again.
Yeah, I replied, but not for 2 weeks. And you don't know what could happen in 2 weeks. Almost anything. After all, in 2 weeks, I found my first real love. I lost him, found another, and I got my first kiss.
Your first kiss? You didn't say anything about that.
Oh, I didn't? I replied casually.
No! Tell me!
Okay! I knew we'd be on the phone for at least an hour, but who fucking cared? After all, I was in love. Ba, 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 ba. But wait, there's more.
Hold on. This is a
there?
letter.
Chris, do you want to read the letter?
Yes,
Okay,
I
Chris
do.
is going to read the letter.
It's a letter from Ann M. Martin.
It's
so
a
get
letter
on,
from... Yeah.
get in the Ann M. Martin kind of space in your
Holy
mind.
fuck.
Dear reader, when I was growing up, my family often took a trip to the New Jersey shore in the summer. Many summers we went to Avalon, New Jersey. So did my best friend Beth and her family. But 2 summers my family went to Surf City. The fictional town of Sea City is based partly on Surf City and
No
partly
shit.
on Wildwood, the town next to Avalon. And some of the incidents that take place in Sea City are based on experiences that Beth and I had when we were in Avalon. For example, we thought it was fun to attract the attention of the lifeguards, who were much older than we were.
I was hoping the
With that-
Burger Garden was the
Oh,
real part.
No, it's the underage jailbait.
There was a tiny little boardwalk with some shops and an arcade where Beth and my sister Jane and I played skee-ball. Every time we scored points at skee-ball, we won coupons that could be turned in for prizes.
We all know what
that's-
skee ball is, and
That's how it works.
And small stuffed animals. The summers at the beach were a long time ago, but now I can think about them every time I write a Babysitters Club book about Sea City.
Every time?
Happy reading. And motherfucker Martin.
Every time? How often
Every
these
time?
bitches
How many-
go to
yeah.
Sea City?
How many
I
of
don't
these?
know.
Oh my god. And motherfucker Martin. Holy, I like that it's not Ann motherfucking Martin. It's Ann motherfucker Martin.
writing it
I
down for
wish
no
I did
reason.
the other.
God. Well, how many years until we read another Babysitters Club book?
I don't know. One of my last notes was, this book sucks.
Yeah.
If there's another Sea City book, you got to do it next.
That's in 3 years.
I mean, like now, like start it now, like
next.
roll right into it.
Otherwise, we'll forget all these characters.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Toby, etc.
How could I ever forget Toby with his brown eyes and freckles?
Yes.
And his cowboy
Toby
shirt.
and all the others.
Ugh. What a slog.
Yeah.
Damn.
I feel like
Nothing
we had a
happened.
lot of fun in these episodes.
We really did.
On our tangents.
Yes.
And zero fun from the books.
Yes.
Because the only things that happened were upsetting.
Yeah. Yeah. The only things that happened were upsetting and nothing.
Yes.
Yeah. There were two kinds of things that happened in this book.
Oh boy. Well, they can't all be winners, but we, like you said, we have a great time no matter what.
I think that we are always winners.
We are always winners. That's true.
We've never
Tell us
been
in the
beaten.
comments if you think this book was a winner.
We've never been beaten by one of these books yet.
Well,
That's
we
not
kind
true.
We were
Yeah,
defeated
there's
by a
the one.
book.
Yeah. John, you weren't involved in that though. So
Yeah.
you technically, John, your record
we never got
You're
that
the winner.
You're
Yeah.
a winner. Your record is stellar. Me,
But
Bekah, and Chris.
But there's
are
an
not.
asterisk next to that if it means a book was aborted before it made it to me. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way to know that I would have survived that book. So
I feel like you're the only thing that could have saved that book. And
it was too late though.
there was
I don't think anything could have saved that.
there was a moment where I think it was just me. I was mulling over the idea of like if we could salvage that book somehow. We had only gotten halfway through it, and there was a certain point where I was like, what if we just have John read the rest of this entire book with us? Because
You did
he's-
suggest
by
that, and I
himself.
was like, don't fucking do that to him.
Don't do it to him. Don't make him do that. Yeah. Yeah. Bekah did get you off the hook
Yes.
for that one.
I appreciate that, Bekah.
You're welcome. I got you on the hook for Babysitters Club and off the hook for
Scorpion
Scorpion
Shards.
Shards.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
One of these days, I'll do some sort of supercut of whatever the fuck we recorded, and make
Just
it as,
every time we go, what?
Upsetting.
Yeah, I'll cut out as much of the upsetting shit as possible. I did something years ago for the podcast. I can't remember what it was. Oh, I remember what it was. This was forever ago when we got absolutely shit-faced and talked about all of our exes on an episode.
That
of our,
wasn't this podcast. That was This Is
That was a
65.
podcast, yeah.
That was a podcast.
Yes.
The horrible drunken Valentine's Day episode.
Valentine's Day. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day.
Schmalentine's Day. It was you and me and Chris and Anna Marie.
Yes.
And we got fucking loaded and recorded an entire episode of a podcast that I never published because we kept thinking that we could hide who we were talking about by changing their name to Shma. So if it was, for example, someone named Alex or Toby, it would have been Schmalix or Schmoby. And we were like, nailed it. No one will ever know who the fuck we're talking about. And then afterwards I was like, oops. But then eventually, I don't remember when, but eventually I did cut together some parts of that episode that were especially egregious, and I just bleeped all the times when we doxed someone or said some shit that we shouldn't have said online.
It was just like really personal shit.
Really,
like,
really
let's
personal.
talk about all of my exes in detail.
Yeah.
In
Like-
front of a microphone for no reason.
Like, not personal so much to us, but like spilling details on other people. Right?
and our relationships with them.
Yes. Anyway, that's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
it was bad.
That's what I could do with the Scorpion Shards. Is like I could cut together something, and if it was
Yeah,
anything,
just look like in the auto captions.
Yeah.
Anytime we say Jesus Christ, I think would probably help you.
yeah. John, what did you think of the end of this fucking Babysitters Club book?
I think I'd like to read some words by the poet Kurt Cobain to
Yes.
describe how I felt.
Okay, cool.
Meat-eating orchids forgive no one just yet. Cut myself on angel hair and baby's breath. Broken hymen of your highness, I'm left black. Throw down your umbilical noose so I can climb right back.
Very fitting.
That's good.
Thank
That's
you.
very fitting. Yeah, it applies.
Yeah.
Perfect tribute.
Yeah.
Yeah, after reading that, I wish I was never born.
So that you could be born again and experience it all over.
Yeah. That's how great. I don't know what we're gonna read next, but John, what would you like to plug for people listening?
I like to plug this show. I'm guesting on this show right now. I would like to plug Movie Schmovie, which is a podcast where I get together with my friends Ronald and Steve every week, and we talk about movies and television that we've been watching. Something new, something old, usually. I also have music that you can find on Bandcamp under the name Sci-Fi. That's sighfigh.bandcamp.com. And then also, lastly, I have a podcast feed called FYIZ. That's like F as in fun. Y as in you. I as in incitement. And Z as in zealotry. Just so people know. But yeah, if you like this show and you like
Sounds a
people,
little culty.
You said Y as in you, which is a letter.
Y as in Yosemite then.
Well,
Thank you.
You like the word.
I know you the word you, but my brain doesn't work, right?
Okay.
So he said Y as in you, and I was like,
I used not a Y.
That'd be great if someone's like, okay, my name's John. That's J as in R, O as in A, H as in L.
Y as in you, and I was like, F-U-I-Z, foods?
Yeah, but FYIZ is a podcast feed where if you like me and certain other people on this show and conversations about books, I think by the time this episode, when does this episode come out, Jonathan?
Like a month, maybe? A little while.
Okay, by the time that comes out, there'll be something over there on FYIZ
Nice.
For you. But yeah, those are my things.
Cool. Chris, what would you like to plug?
If you're a giant fan of the hijinks this gang gets up to on this show, then I would like to invite you on a improvisational comedic adventure that we call The Sketchy Show. I got there in the end. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's another Cactus Rodeo production, so that's us. Listen to it. It's available wherever you get your podcasts.
That's so true. And you should follow Below Grade Level, this show, on Instagram and TikTok, and you can follow Cactus Rodeo that Chris mentioned on Facebook and YouTube. John, as always, thank you for helping us finish another book. This one, but the next one, who knows? Maybe it'll be better.
Thanks for inviting me to the beach. You know, in the middle of this kind of wintry weather we've been experiencing, this was a nice little escape.
It was a nice like mental like, ooh, remember that? So thank you for coming back once again, and for everyone listening, thank you for listening, and keep on listening, and leave us some comments, and let us know what you think, and let us know what you want us to read. There's still a few books that we've gotten recommendations for that we should do soon. So anyway, we love you. Bye.
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 Below Grade Level is a Cactus Rodeo production. You can subscribe to and follow Below Grade Level on TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, Apple, and wherever you find podcasts. Contact us at podcast@cactusrodeo.com and discover more of what Cactus Rodeo has to offer on Facebook and YouTube.